show.
Yeah. Well, I guess the talk of the week has been Diddy, and it's been pretty much Diddy the whole week.
No Diddy slander.
Pretty much taking up all the entertainment news. It's so big, we forgot about Shannon Sharp's gaffe last week.
It's crazy. Like, I know Trump pissed because you expect to be number one in the news cycle,
and he's not
again.
And this is why I don't like the whole Diddy scenaririo, because again, you know,
Diddy did it to himself. I'm sorry.
No, he did, man.
Yes,
No, he did. No. If you read how they brought the charges up against him, it was based upon other people filing lawsuits against him, and they did not get a payday. So because they did not get a payday, they went and talked to the feds. So how he did not? Boosie said it. He said it on his Instagram the other day. So now we charging people now who ask women to come with us to another state, and just so happen you get to another state, and before you know it, we getting charged for trafficking, prostitution.
Let me tell you where Diddy up at, and I was telling my homegirl this. See, the biggest fault of Diddy's is that everything now is going to go back to that tape we saw him and Cassie. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Of course, and this is where, and
regardless of what the topic's going to be, you talk about the baby. Right. Oh, damn, I saw him beat Cassie ass in that damn hotel
But
lobby.
See, and then this is where I say I want people to hold up, because if you was one of them people who know somebody that either did the ass whooping or received the ass whooping, whether you are friends with them directly or indirectly, and you didn't do nothing about it, shut the up. You ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, there's a lot of people about to go down with Diddy.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is I'm talking about the people who sitting here trying to cancel him out. There's a lot of people that's been complicit because they have a friend, a homeboy, a homegirl that did some type of abuse.
Oh, you're talking about other people out here, like regular people.
And you got regular folks enabling, doing the same. Feel what I'm saying?
But see, the thing is this though: Diddy had the money to do the enabling. That was what really pushed all this. Like they said, Diddy had a party, for 5 days, on an airplane.
Okay, and who? So if I sit here, I'm a billionaire. I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm about to throw a party in the air for 5 days. Do you want to come? They're gonna come. So that's what he did. Yeah. They agreed to go, and they knew what was gonna pop off.
Everything that's getting ready to or that's happening all comes back from that video of him beating up Cassie.
And again, and this is where I highly stress people like, yo, y'all doing too much, because again, are you keeping that same energy for the ones who want to vote for Trump? Are you keeping the same energy towards him? No, you ain't. Because a lot of you who want to cancel out Diddy, you're going to vote for Trump. Like, make sense. This here been convicted 34 times. Mind you, 34 times.
They might, I'm not saying they are, but hell, they might associate Trump to Diddy. Like, is Diddy the big fish or the little fish in this?
This is like I said, man. And this is why I say, black people, yo, where the solidarity at? Of course, condemn him for what he did to Cassie. He don't get a pass. This is the only time that you visually, even though she had it in the lawsuit, it was written out and had to take a visual to see it, be like, oh my God, it's a shock. She had it in paperwork.
Yeah, but
so hold on, but follow me out right quick. So now that you saw the video, everything else after that is not automatically.
But we've already talked about, like, you can read one thing and see reading it doesn't hold as much interpretation as me. So you can sit here and be like, yeah, they put their hands on them.
Why you think books are top sellers?
If I see you put how you put the hands on them, me hearing about you getting them hands put on you, but me seeing it are two totally different things.
Now this is where I have a problem with that, because for those who read books, what are your top seller books? They are describing the action as what's taking place. So when you actually see the visual, it just automatically assisting you what you already read. The whole thing what we just agree on is majority of people never read the damn lawsuit. That's fair to say.
See, if you read about something, yeah, you have to have a great imagination.
No,
to
you don't.
Bring it to life.
If your
imagination's not good, you can't bring anything to life if you don't have the imagination to bring it to life. But if you see something, you don't need the imagination because it's there for you to see.
So then how do some of these movies become movies? They started off in books. So if they started off in books, they became top selling in books. How the books became top selling? They had to describe what happened from however many chapters in there.
You're not getting the good detail.
You are getting the good detail. You are getting the good detail. That's how you get
good detail of he hit Cassie and slapped Cassie.
Why is that
in the hallway when I'm getting a better detail of me seeing him slap Cassie, kick her in the face, put her in a chokehold, things of that nature.
Again,
it's a bit more detailed.
So the analogy that I just described, when you got bestseller books, those who are advocate book readers, you can identify what I'm saying here. If you are an advocate or you just read in general, if you understand words, if it's somebody describing what's taking place, you are creating a visual based off what's being described from you. Because in order for the lawsuit to even go further on, they had to vividly describe what take place. That means you ain't cutting no corners, none of that. So now, about time you get to the video, it just confirmed what you already read. So most of the people who has an outrage about what happened, they never read in lawsuit. They just said, "Oh, she's lying and she's just trying to get it back."
Because most people don't read.
You're right. So
most people don't read. That's why we wait for the movie to come out.
So now the video's out. This is the only video, the only thing this man has done that we've seen in his
that we see so far.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is this.
You don't need anything else though. That video is
why is it Trump not being treated the same way then? He's been convicted 34 times.
Because he's white.
Thank you. So what I'm saying to you who are backing a convicted felon who's running for president, you mean to tell me you can't give the same credence for a man who actually done something for the black community? Trump hasn't done black community. Diddy has. That's on record. And
I'm not saying.
Hold on. This is what I've been saying, how words means something when it comes to the media. When it's attached to a black person, automatically condemned without him even going to trial. We reading that the case that they're building up against Diddy. He had 1,000 dildos. He had a boatload of lube. Nigga,
all that's made to embarrass him.
That's it. That's all it is. So what I'm saying is, but how is it embarrassing him?
No,
I don't call it embarrassment.
I don't think. Yes, it was made to embarrass him, but it was more made to now where really our ears jumped up. See, people know what to bring.
Keyword, ears jumped up.
Why do the people even need it?
Media knows what to give you to bring you into something. We didn't care because hold on, Doug, read what they found when they raided his house. If you got that up, or I
mean, they found quite a bit.
Dildos, lubricant. Yeah. I mean, they found the videos that he had, the videos of that was going on, et cetera, et cetera.
But see, like I'm saying, they found the 3 guns with the serial number scratched off. That alone will do you. You know that.
Okay.
Nobody cared about the 3 guns, but we care about the salacious details of it. We care about.
Is it really salacious? Is it?
What? You talking about This man was found with 1,000 bottles of lube, 875 dildos.
How is that salacious?
Sex is involved.
How? He got the money to have a big ass orgy party.
Sex is involved.
Which a lot of us would love to do, by fact.
Sex is involved. That makes it salacious.
So again, what I'm saying is this whole shit is bullshit because again, we talking about individuals that went after him for a payday. They couldn't get the money. So now they want to go to the feds and say, "Oh, I did this against he forced me to do this." He didn't put no gun to your head and tell you get in his damn private jet, fly to Miami or LA and say, "Hey, we're gonna have a party." You see everybody in that motherfucking party butt ass naked.
And to that that is true. Like, you know, you have to hold certain people accountable to making adult decisions. Like, he didn't hold anybody. Well, we don't know if he held anybody hostage, first of all.
Come on. If you held somebody hostage, that shit would have been out.
No, because then I'm going to go right back to where I said I was going right back to in the beginning. Where am I going, Dove? To the Cassie video. Because it looked like she was being held hostage.
She's going to push back why she's not being held hostage. Because there's been times this man has left the house, traveled overseas, travel out of the country, travel out of state, to where she was left home and she could have freely leave.
And that's true. But we've also seen a video where he's beat on that woman, and we saw one video. We saw one video.
How
many videos do you need of incriminating evidence? If I see you rob one bank, are you a bank robber?
No, if you do something one time, that means that's your character?
Yes, it does.
No, it's not.
Especially if you're caught on tape doing it, because yes, you would, if it's not your character, you wouldn't do it.
Let me say why it's not his character, because again, you don't hear no other women saying he beat on me like that. He forced me to do anything.
I mean, he's getting lawsuits.
He's getting lawsuits left and right. Women are coming forward saying that this is happening. So
that's the same thing with Deshaun. That's the same thing with Deshaun Watson.
But it is.
It's the same thing with Deshaun Watson. Of course, you have an agitator. A white man found somebody, the white lawyer, he was the friend of the owner of the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans owner sat there, put this on, try to humiliate him to force him to stay in Houston. The thing about the whole analogy, what I'm getting to, what I want the masses to understand, especially black folks, do not sit here and listen to what the media is saying about high-end celebrity black people, because again, they want to take him out for a reason.
But even the black people are talking about him though. Like Jaguar Wright been talking about the boy forever. I'm saying is, this is the thing what I said the whole time. There's no solidarity amongst black folks. But you won't lock in with who made a mistake, a terrible mistake that he should be condemned for. I'm not saying that you should say, well, they've got this boy like Puffy, like you say who, like we're not talking about Puffy. They have this man when they got him when he set old boy a car on fire. That's one of the things.
Who got it?
Whose car did he set on fire?
Yeah,
Kid Cudi's car. They got him on that when he set the car on fire, and then had the nerve to brag about doing it.
Okay,
they got him on tape doing that.
So what woman didn't do nothing crazy? Because
it doesn't.
Hold on, wait. It does matter. It does matter. You know why? It does matter. I'm not saving him. I am not saving him. What I want people to understand is there's a lot of us who has done some wild out shit over some of those women, over some that they was locked in about, and they felt like they got played. But that's not being held against you to where this is how you are for the rest of your life.
But they're saying Puffy's been out of character his whole life. Now you understand why Mace left. It makes even more sense why Mace left now.
You know what? It doesn't. You know, the way Mace left, he left because of over the contract. Got it, no problem. But what anybody else say is, when you first get in the game on anything, right? You're gonna learn one way or another how you supposed to handle your business. You're not, as black folks, you're not taught the art of business. So did Puffy did some things that could have been done different? Yeah, he did. But mind you, Puffy came up in the same grind to get where he at. So in his mind, yo, you got to get up here to where I go through this, what I've gone through to see this is what you really want. Why? Because look where he became to where he's a billionaire. Now, without going off track, is the contract that he got from Mace was probably so. But did he not put you on a platform to where you could have made that fucking money outside that goddamn contract? Yes, you could have, because he could have put on shows without this got deal with Diddy.
What they're saying is this indictment goes back to 2008. You're talking to a man that made one mistake. He made a mistake. This indictment goes back to 2008. So there are several mistakes in this.
We're talking about people who didn't get paid. So now because they didn't get paid, they want to go.
Whose fault is that?
If this was a regular man, they would have went to the police.
He's not regular.
We got that. If this was a regular man, you would have went to the police the day that happened. You didn't, because you was complicit in any type of way. When I say complicit, meaning you know that shit wrong, but you still stayed your ass there. Because why? In the back of your head,
but
I might,
after a
hold
while,
on, follow me. In the back of your head.
You're saying the same thing, but after a while.
How I'm saying the same thing?
The person doing it knows it's wrong too. So once you come to the realization
how
that
is
it's wrong,
it wrong when you're not being forced? You're
now,
not being forced to do that. He asking. I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, you're saying that they knew it was wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Now, I realize it's wrong, and I want to tell you the jig's up. You're still wrong, and the jig is up.
What he did was wrong.
Well, we can get into what the indictment basically alleges.
They're saying he was drugging people.
Well, so who don't take at a damn party?
It's also saying he hit and abused women for over a decade and presided over an empire of crimes.
So we're cool with that.
No, because number one, these are not proven facts. But go ahead,
I seen him do it once. That's enough proof. I don't need to see it no more.
No, because you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me?
If you catch me on tape,
you mean to tell me in your life you haven't made a mistake, that the mistake that you made that determined your whole behavior up until this point?
Okay.
Think about this before you answer the question. The question I'm asking you is,
so let me ask you a question.
I'll ask you a question first. I need you to answer this. Have you made a mistake, whether it was intentional or not? The mistake that you made, that dictate your whole character up until this point. Yes or no?
Well, it depends on what the mistake is.
It definitely depends on what the mistake is.
You can pick.
But
it could be your worst mistake to the simple.
I've never drugged a woman.
That it was one.
I'm not saying.
You're saying the mistake.
We don't know he drugged somebody.
But when you cop and be like, well, I apologize, stuff like, why are you copping to it? That's my thing. Like, you've been doing this. You beat up chicks. That's what you do.
Because he apologized, that shows what?
He was trying to save some money and save face. And Puffy thought he was cool and he thought he was in the clear. Should have died down, and Puffy was proved to be wrong, and they were waiting to nab this guy. Puffy is not going to get off. As you keep trying to say, he made one mistake. No, he didn't. It just hasn't come out that he's done all these things. They have the videos to show it. I'm sure they have more videos than that.
He had, listen to what's being said here, people. He's being charged because he asked some beautiful women, hey, you want to fly with me to my party here in Miami or LA? They say yes.
Okay.
They get in the plane on their own. He ain't got no gun to him. He ain't got them drugged up or nothing.
They are drugged up. That's what they're saying. That's what the indictment said. Look, is that what the indictment said?
Okay. Well, he is accused of inducing female victims and male sex workers into drugged up, day-long sexual.
You said drugged up, right?
Yeah, drugged up, sometimes days-long freak-offs. In the indictment, which refers to an attack on, one of them referring to an attack on Cassie that was captured on video. So it does look like the Cassie video is kind of the basis.
It's the reference. It's the reference for everything, and it's going to be.
So, again, my thing is this. What's being described in this shit is being exaggerated. If we just sat right here and said law enforcement exaggerate on drug busts and shit,
they always do.
They're exaggerating on this shit right here. He acts.
I don't know if they're exaggerating.
That is, bro. The fact that they're saying he forced prostitution, what they're saying is he forced these women to get in his private jet to go with him to either Miami or California or where he had his party at. He forced them to get on a plane. They volunteered, took their clothes off. They volunteered.
But what if they say they go, like you say, they volunteer, then they get there and be like, I don't want to be here no more.
Okay.
And he says, well, you can't go until I'm ready to go.
So if that's what's said and there's proof that was said and that take place, fine. But that has not been said. There's no proof on that. Again, if we're going to say law enforcement exaggerate on their charges, which is proven facts,
yeah, we've seen that several times.
So what I'm saying is this: what they're saying, first of all, what they name in the charges, one is to embarrass him, which
of course,
what heterosexual man and some heterosexual women would be mad at that. He had the power and the money to do that. A lot of us who try to do that now, and we ain't nowhere near this man.
You're right, but like I said, it only takes one person.
That's hypocritical. That's all I'm just saying.
It only takes one person. Like I say, they can go and then be like, I don't want to be here no more. It only takes one person, and that does it. So and then it all goes back to, like I said, the only thing that people are going to reference back to is the Cassie video.
So what I'm going to say is this: that is weak. You don't even hear no other women from all the most from the star-studded women he's been around to even the other ones that haven't said he has
lawsuits.
They filing lawsuits because they saw a money. Grab, a money grab.
But we said that about Cassie too. She saw a money grab.
But the fact of the matter, it was
her get her ass beat.
Number one, he paid. That's number one.
I'm just saying though, we said it was a money grab.
We did,
and then we saw her get her ass beat.
And I still feel that way because you know why? Because if it was that serious, right?
Was that serious?
Now let me tell you that it was that serious to where this man is physically beating your ass, right? You can go to the police, you can press charge on his ass, and you can still get money. You can still get all that.
Well, she got all that now.
She didn't press no charges.
She got
and just like everybody else, they didn't press no charges. They trying to get money. So because they didn't get no money, now you want to run to the feds. They was complicit in some shape or form in whatever taking place. Okay, so if you were, that's a weak ass case.
If you're going to play like that, then you better pay like that. And since you're saying
what's there to pay? When you volunteer to participate.
Okay, well, that's why he's locked up. Because obviously you said that people are just
locked up.
These people are just filing these frivolous lawsuits and stuff like that.
Frivolous lawsuits.
But all they're going to do, like
we just talked about one last week, the man in jail.
They're going to go back to the main reference point, like I keep telling you.
That's totally separate. Cassidy is totally different from everybody else. You cannot group everybody with Cassidy. The Cassidy incident is by itself. Everybody else, you must prove that as it go. They don't have nothing on this man. He got 1,000 dildos. He got a bunch of
They got him with 3 guns that don't have serial.
They got guns and drugs on them.
They got guns and drugs. That's enough to lock you up forever.
No, it's not. Number one,
hold on, it's not.
No.
What they do?
How much drugs they got off of him?
They got ecstasy.
They didn't tell you. They didn't even tell you. They didn't say. They didn't.
Plus, they got the gun.
Did they tell you?
That's enough to get you locked up forever.
No, it's not. Especially if it's your first time.
So you're telling me 3? Not gun, but with the serial number scraped off.
Yes, with all of them, and with his high status, what he has done for the community and everything. Yes, and get that life. Because you know why? You ain't creating no jobs. You ain't got no money that's contributing in the damn.
He had 3 AR-15s with the serial.
You know what other person? What that
You're
mean?
making it
that
light.
means he can afford legitimate guns.
So, and I'm gonna say this again. Even if he had a 3 gun with the serial
scratched
that's
off.
still not a life sentence, people.
No, that's not.
It's not.
That's gonna get you in trouble.
How much drugs they got off of him?
They got ecstasy.
They didn't tell you. They didn't even tell you. They didn't say. They didn't.
Plus, they got the gun.
Did they tell you?
That's enough to get you locked up forever.
No, it's not. Especially if it's your first time.
So you're telling me 3? Not gun, but with the serial number scraped off.
Yes, with all of them, and with his high status, what he has done for the community and everything. Yes, and get that life. Because you know why? You ain't creating no jobs. You ain't got no money that's contributing in the damn.
He had 3 AR-15s with the serial.
What other person? What that mean?
You're making it
that
light.
Means he can afford legitimate guns.
So, and I'm gonna say this again. Even if he had a 3 gun with the serial
scratched
that's
off.
still not a life sentence, people.
No, that's not.
It's not.
That's gonna get you in trouble.
Yes, listening.
I am listening.
Have the serial number scratched off. That's a federal violation. Having guns with serial numbers scraped off, that automatically comes with jail time.
No, it does not. It does not. First of all, what state it was in? What state was them guns was in?
New York.
No, I thought it was Miami.
So gun charges in the north versus in the south is handled differently.
Depending on who carries them.
But it's still a scratched off serial. It's an illegal gun no matter what.
Number one, nobody's saying it's not illegal. What I'm saying to you guys is because he had them serial numbers scratched off, that doesn't validate a life sentence.
I know it doesn't. He's not arraigned on them.
And he's not even. And he won't.
That's what they found. That's not why.
Exactly. What he's arraigned on is supposed to be forceful prostitution. Meaning, if I ask you, do you want to join me somewhere, and you voluntarily comes with me, and we leave out of state, that's that automatically comes up as trafficking.
He's arraigned on racketeering, conspiracy,
racketeering is weak.
Sex trafficking, and gun charges. I'm telling you,
and drug charges.
I'm reading this shit. The racketeering, and the conspiracy charge is just another thing to outline the case to try to make it strong. It's not. That case is weak as. I bet I'll put anything on it. That nigga don't do no time. Yeah.
No, he gonna do something.
He ain't doing no time. I bet
he doing something. They gonna get his ass. They gonna young thug his ass.
He ain't doing no time.
You don't think that Puffy doing no time? You out your mind.
They gotta prove that this man forced women to leave one state to go with him to another state and forced them to perform sexual acts.
Like I tell everybody else, you know the Fed conviction rate.
What that mean? You know if you got money too, right?
You know the Fed conviction
you got money
rate.
too,
It's
right?
98.5%.
You got money as long as you got bread and you don't have if you don't have no charges to back up whatever they say, good luck. Because like I said, even if you do come up with some type of conviction, it ain't gonna generate no jail time. It ain't. He ain't physically put no gun in nobody's face, shot nobody.
We haven't seen those videos yet. We don't know what the feds have on them.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is this: what's being said right now.
The same thing we said about Cassie. Oh, well, we don't know nothing. She ain't got nothing on him. Then they dropped that tape of him. Yeah. They have proof. You're playing with the federal government like they're a bunch of goofballs who don't do this job seriously.
They don't.
And you're like, they don't have no proof.
They don't.
The feds have a 98.5 conviction rate. That means that 1.5% get off.
And where most of them conviction rates come from?
Tax evasion.
Conviction rates come off of low-level drug offenders. That's where they come off of. Them ain't coming off no high-end players. No.
But you're acting like...
See, that's what I'm talking about. You want to ignore that. The reason why the feds have the highest conviction rates they done, if you look at their conviction rate, it's amongst black and brown who doesn't have the money to fight the charges.
So you're saying that because you're saying like if it was a regular guy who got caught with 3 guns that had the serial scraped off, they'd be what? Snatched up and put in prison, right?
What I said, if a regular guy who never been in trouble before, who has no charges, no felony charge, no gun, no none of that, it's the same thing apply to him. It's 3 times better for him, for Puffy, because he got the resources. So it's a different ball game. You have no conviction on this man, no felonies, no nothing.
The feds are getting ready to snatch all that money away.
They not snatching.
He had to sell $50 million.
And that's because, are you telling me that's because they're trying to make a case against him. Okay. They're trying.
Okay. We're going to see. But I'm pretty sure Puffy's going down for this.
That nigga ain't doing no time. You can't do no time if you've never been charged or convicted of nothing.
Okay.
You ain't doing no time.
He's doing time.
He's doing no time.
They put in too much work for him to not do time.
He's doing time.
Listen, we seen feds put in a lot of work.
Look at what? Like that they didn't get who they were going for. I'm
telling you, I just told you one right now. I just said, look at Young Thug case, 3 years plus, and they ain't got.
The nigga been in jail for how long?
So what? He gonna get out on time? He gonna get out on that? Bruh, he got a racketeering charge.
And have they let him out?
How many? Do you know the average length of how long Fed cases take?
So you're telling me?
Ask that question.
You're telling me
that? Ask that question.
You're telling me
that? Are you gonna answer that question?
I mean, Fed cases shit. I don't think Young Thug is gonna do.
He ain't doing no time.
No, they gonna give him something.
The time that he's doing is what the fuck he's doing right now. He gonna get probation if anything.
We'll see.
He's not gonna get no time.
I don't think so.
If he was gonna get time, they would have slammed dunk this case 2 years ago. They 3+ years into this case. Fed cases don't take that long. If they got a 98 conviction rate, that don't take too long. 2 weeks, maybe a month. Not no 3 years.
Okay, we'll see. But I think Thug, he gonna do some time.
Thug gonna get out. The time that he's doing is what he's doing right now, sitting in there.
Okay, just remember this. If he does time, and because I want you to do it to me too, but if he does, I'm going to be up on you like I told you.
Hey, do that.
Okay.
Do that.
Yeah, well, a lot of the evidence presented is kind of, I might not say so information, but, I think we got to wait to see what more information comes out of these raids.
It's vague, bro. What they got right now.
Oh, it's Vegas.
Vague as hell. But the thing I have a problem with is everybody pouncing on them.
I was listening to the radio the other day, and there's a song come on, and he take that. I was just like,
Diddy on everything.
The song I'm speaking of is Honey, Mariah Carey.
Well, I mean, that's a Mariah Carey song.
That's what,
Diddy on it.
but nevertheless, he's still on it. Diddy's on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the thing about it is, all I'm just saying is, just keep the same energy. You know what I'm saying? If you can sit here and cancel out him, and he hasn't even been convicted, let alone been in court, has done a trial. Y'all already want to cancel this man, but you ain't gonna cancel Trump. That's weak.
Like I say, I have a daughter, and if a man would, any man who fights a woman,
outside of you, and what Trump has done to a woman, they're overlooking it.
Well, I mean, shit, we might as well run into whatchamacallit, man, because they're all under really the same premise.
Okay, well, let's discuss all the charges that were brought upon Diddy. So they have described Diddy as the head of a criminal enterprise engaged in or attempting to engage in activities including trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, drug offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Mm-hmm. So these are all the charges brought to him. They also accused Diddy of intimidation of witnesses. They also said these were at his freak-offs. People needed IVs due to the amount of drugs. And
This shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like I said, if a motherfucker had a party, they have a party, and some items is out there, right? You can dip in it. You can get as much as you want. It's all on you.
All right, let's have fun now. Okay, so yeah, I do want to see one of these freak off parties. Like I want to, because
they're on tape.
Look, I know the FBI. Yeah. They had the best week ever because all you're doing is sitting around watching.
That's all they doing. That's
all you did.
And y'all mad because he's doing that. That's weak.
I want to see one of these freak offs, one of these videos, but then again, I don't, because there's no telling what you're going to see in these freak offs because they were freaking off.
Right.
Like, that's why I'm kind of iffy. I want to see it because I'm not ready to see everybody freaking off with everybody.
That's a little too
that
much.
Might catch me a little off guard. And then not only that, the faces, because we're going to be looking at faces of the party goers now. Like we got to see who's at these freak offs.
Right.
Do you believe any of the exes were at the freak offs?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, we ain't talking about all the extra. We talking about men and women. That the heterosexual. If you had an opportunity to be
a freak off,
listen to it. Thank you. I'm going. Thank you. You going? Everybody else going. I don't want to hear that.
Also accused of being a co-conspirator and kidnapping someone at gunpoint in 2011.
You know they're going to drop his co-conspirators, or you know who the co-conspirators are going to be.
Yeah.
His sons.
Yeah. And
you know they're going to put his sons with him.
And again, you got to have the co-conspirators to talk against him.
Yeah.
Which they not, because they're family. So again,
you don't know that.
Right, listen, man.
You think his sons are solid without knowing their character?
Listen.
They spoil rich kids.
Look, that's what I said. This is every man for himself right now.
Right, exactly. And some smart ass spoiled rich kids, they gonna think of the big picture. Like
big picture, they facing jail time
possibly you're going to be blackballed from anybody wanting to deal with you anymore.
Exactly.
That's another thing going on.
You can't be blackballed when you got. You can't be blackballed when you're on the top of the food chain, dog. I got enough money and resources. I can do my own thing.
Bro, the feds are going to snatch your money.
We're talking about
how they gonna take his money, bro? That money, his money that he's made of his empire ain't got.
They freeze your account.
They ain't got. What he been charged with?
None of that matters. They can freeze your accounts.
This is the feds.
Reasons.
They're going to
drum up reasons.
It don't matter what the reasons are. If they want to freeze your account, they can freeze your account.
Like I said, who hasn't been to a party where it's a big ass
party? Not a Diddy party, not like that.
Who hasn't been to a party that you went to a party and your mans or whoever you dealing with, they got bread and they got whatever it is that want. If you deal and dib and dab in that, go for it.
I know people who whatever it is. I know people who throw Diddy parties, so it is what it is. There's a bunch of people out here throwing Diddy parties. For me, it's not the aspect of the charge. I don't, like you said, those are grown people making grown people decisions.
So let's get to what
the freak offs. Just like I want to hear about it, like maybe hear who was there.
Right,
I mean lots of names.
Like Derek Jeter used to hang with Puffy very heavy. But this is
why I say that don't go nowhere, because number one, if it spreads out to somebody else,
celebrities,
too many, they ain't not gonna do that. You know why? I get it.
I ain't gonna lie. Puffy, from what I heard, he had, because he have everybody acting. He be in the chair with his baby oil, directing.
Man, listen, like I said,
the best director of rap videos, and obviously videos
right.
now
So we're mad because this man having sex. Let's get to the part where he can actually get in trouble. The guns, the scratches, all the guns,
the drugs.
They don't even say how much the drugs is.
Well, so they say they found drugs.
If it's enough,
so found drugs meaning they can.
It's Diddy. It ain't no Nick and Dime.
So man, no.
Nick and Dime.
We found a Nick of crack
if they
or a
found,
coke.
Trust and believe, if they found enough worth talking about, they would have said something about it. If they'd have found a key of coke, they would have said we found 5 keys of coke. They found miscellaneous shit that they personal use.
Oh, I believe that too.
So that's what they found. They trying to say they found drugs. So again, let's focus on.
But I'm gonna tell you what's going to hurt Diddy the most is when you go and watch these videos back. That's what's going to kill him.
What's going to kill him?
Because then that's the evidence you're looking for. What's partake? You're taking drugs in the party. All that your videos are going to do.
You have to see him physically set the plate or whatever it is down, or you had to see him actually feed somebody something.
You're making him the head of the operation. You don't have to.
So you got
do anything.
So again,
he's getting called the head.
So now this is why I say that it's not gonna be talked about like it is, because if you're gonna make him the head because it's in his house, it's on his property, you got to still put him. He's the actual one that did it. That's going to be hard to do.
Well, he's right there while it's taking place, so he can sit
here and say, "Look, I had somebody else came and bought that. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know."
I hope they don't. I hope he doesn't come with that defense.
I'm just saying, man, that ain't the thing about it is what I'm saying is this: the things that he can actually get in trouble for, the guns. Because if they would have announced what they found, it ain't nothing. The guns is the only thing, and besides the few women that said he forced them to go with them to a party to another state.
That's going to bring him down.
No, it's not. Yes, because again, it's not going to bring him down, because they have to establish proof that this man physically or drugged them to get them on the plane and get them to the other party.
And you know what they're going to bring in for evidence to be like, this is the stuff he does? The Cassie tape.
The Cassie tape is not
intimidating witnesses.
No, that's not. No, sir, that's not going to work. That's not going to work, because, again, you still have to show a history of him doing that. If he got that Cassidy tape, right, where's another Cassidy tape? Where's another tape that this man, when they say somebody's a serial whatever, right, to be classified as a serial, meaning
so how many tapes you need to see of him beating women to say he's a woman beater?
Twice, 2. You need 2.
You need a second tape?
Yep.
You need a second tape.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more tapes.
I'm sure too.
Yeah. You need at least
we'll see, maybe I'm wrong.
And then you can't even say that, because again, you got to know
you can't say what after the second tape you're not a woman beater.
Can I say it? So if you seen another tape, right, of him physically getting an altercation with a woman, you still got to know the details of how did that start it? How did it get to that? Because if he just didn't automatically just strike her ass or something like that, if we saw, now like the Cassidy thing, we saw him physically went after her, dragged her, kicked her, all that shit, unprovoked her. We seen that. So you have to see another tape that's similar like the Cassidy tape for you can say, okay, we got something else. He done it. He has a history of doing that. We don't have that. So since we don't have that, we cannot sit here and take that Cassidy tape and spread it all over these other cases, because that's not how the law goes, people.
Yes, it is. They're
no,
going
it's
to
not.
They're going to use it as evidence.
No.
Yeah, they are.
They are going to use it as evidence.
You can't base the case, because again, just like Cassidy worded in her lawsuit, and we have a videotape of him doing that corroborates what had taken place.
We're going to put you on his team too. I'm going to send a letter to get you on the team too, because I'm telling you, they're going to use that tape for evidence.
They can use it all they want to. The point is the use of that is really proof of what their case is. The case is what they're trying to get him on is he forced women to get in his plane to go to another state and perform acts. That's one. And the guns that's been with serial.
I'm gonna show them that he beat up Cassie to be like, yeah, he forced women to go to get on planes.
Cassidy, unless they're saying Cassidy's situation is part of their investigation, whatever case may be, fine. That's one thing. But they can mention whatever fuck happened with Cassidy, but unless they have proof he done that to other people, that's a one-off.
Yeah.
That's a one-off.
I don't know about it.
But it's still going to be used as evidence.
That's fine. You can use it whatever.
So you can call this one-off, but people
still,
see you beating on a woman. But
that still does not say that you are a woman beater. That still not classify you as a woman beater. That's all I'm just saying. You had for somebody to be classified as a woman beater, you don't have no problem whooping a woman's ass on any little thing. And you do it on will. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, we don't know how many times he's put
exactly. So what I'm saying is until others come out, until we see
others have come out and said
they came out, but we don't have the difference is we can connect the dots with Cassie. We can connect the dots with that. All the other ones, we can't connect the dots with them. So until you can connect the dots, I'm not on that train.
Here's the thing. I think based off of the evidence presented at the moment, they're going to use it to charge him. But I do think there is a lot of, just circumstantial making up. I can't say whether I don't know the evidence they have that says he used intimidation tactics. Because when you say statements like he intimidated people and things like that.
Intimidated means I just called them and said, hey, can you not say nothing? Or
it could be anything. Well, it looks like all these charges basically stem from around the freak offs. Now, they're saying in these freak off videos, they have evidence of him as he hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair during these freak offs. So they're allegedly saying some of that action is caught on camera. So we probably need to wait and see what more evidence is revealed from the indictment, because I'm pretty sure more evidence is going to come. I'm not sure which parts the feds are exaggerating on and which parts are true. I learned after that Cassie tape, I'm not going to believe all women, but I'm going to slow down before judging.
That's all I just said.
I say if they got an indictment on Diddy, they may have evidence that we don't know about yet that's convicting him, or it could be some bullshit made up. But we just got to wait and see right now. At the moment, as more shit gets revealed, I'm sure that trial is going to be a bitch.
Oh, that's the case of the century.
It ain't going to be the trial of the century.
It's going to be
no cameras.
It's going to be like
no cameras.
No cameras.
Shit.
Oh. Because I was going to say, some of the people they're going to be calling up in this house, in that courtroom,
let me
ain't no
explain
cameras.
something to you. He will not, if he get convicted of anything, he will not do no jail time.
Nah.
Unless he physically harmed somebody, or
Which he did.
Who? Cassidy? Outside?
Cassie.
Oh, but he's not on trial for her.
I know.
Okay, then. So what I'm saying is, unless he physically made those women get in his plane, go to another state, perform them acts against their will, they don't have no case based off what we see as of now.
That's what we see.
I said as of what we see as of now.
Like I say, if you think this is all the feds are coming with, if you think that's all they got. Okay.
Listen, bro, I'm sitting here saying it loud and clear. As for what's being put out right now, it's weak. Unless they connect the dots like how they connect the dots with Cassidy, you can't sit here and say, it did. It's over with.
I get it.